Yeah, we were talking about the second stage, establishment, that is shoot multiplication. So first stage was establishment or initiation. Second stage is multiplication. Which we were talking about that now. So where you get lot of shootlets. Okay, so where you need to take care of the auxin cytokinin ratio I was telling you. So, but this will vary at different stages of culture. So variable growth responses may occur during consecutive subcultures. When you're subculturing, the ratio has to be very carefully measured. Ratio of cytokinin auxin has to be carefully measured. And then adjusting cytokinin concentrations will be very, very important. So auxin is usually low or absent in stage 2 cultures. Normally, when you multiply the shoots, auxin level is normally maintained at a low level. But sometimes, depending on the explant or depending on the plant, depending on what you require. Suppose you want only the shoot cultures. You want only the shoot culture. You are using a suspension culture. You're using a liquid culture for some reason. You want to have some industrially important drug or anything. You are industrially, you require only shootlets. In that case, you have to use only the say auxin. Maybe you're when you're using only auxin, it uses to induce shoot multiplication. So in this case, sometimes it will change depending on your requirement. It will change. Suppose you want to maintain the whole callus only as a shoot. You don't want it to develop root or hardening and all that. You want only the callus to be maintained as multiple shootlets. In that case, the hormone level should be maintained as such. Some cases, adding auxin will keep the culture in a shootlet form. It will not go in for producing any other kind of organs. So in that case, it all differs. Basic things we are telling. There may be some exceptions also. So you must know all that. So subculturing, how it is done? After the microshoots have reached an appropriate length, they are harvested. You have to transfer it to another medium to induce rooting. So you have to use, everything is aseptical. You have to make sure that the bench is devoid of contamination. Where the workbench, you are using a laminar flow. All the equipments that you are using are surface sterilized or totally sterilized, like they are using the forceps or the scalpel which you cut the plantlet or the tissue. Whatever instrument you're using, whatever equipment you're using, your hands or whatever, it has to be aseptic. So in this case, you can trim the original culture, you can separate, you can cut them into bits, and each bit can be subcultured to a new media. From this bit, you can get over 1,000 bits. So each 1,000 can be put in a new medium, which will go to the next stage, that is rooting stage. So that is called subculturing. If you want to maintain it the same, one part of the shoot bit will be maintained as a shootlet itself for some other reason. So you have to take bits from this, go into the next stage. You have to transfer it to a medium containing hormones which will induce rooting, which is the third stage of micropropagation. One part of the bit, you will maintain it as such, as shootlets. So you will maintain it as the stage 2 level itself, so that whenever you require, you can get the same material and go in for the third stage. So always subculturing, before transferring it to the next stage, you have to keep a copy of it, just like keeping a copy of the file before sending the file to another person. So similarly, subculturing, you have to keep a copy of this also in the same condition. One part you can subculture it to the next stage. So subculturing frequency varies from 2 to 8 weeks depending on the speed of shoot development. It all depends on the plantlet which you have chosen, the explant you have chosen, depends on the conditions of growth, depends on how much nutrients you are providing. Subculturing frequency you have to decide. So it is very important that to maintain the shoot proliferation and to establish optimum shoot multiplication rate. See how to establish optimum, you have to trial and error. We have to see, so already MS medium is there. You already have an MS medium. You want to add something else extra. You can add, suppose you want to have an optimum medium of yourself, your own media. You have got very good results. So you want to, with one plant, you have got very good results. You have added banana extract to MS medium and you have got very good results. You have got very high rate of shoot inducing. So you want to try it with another plant. So in that case, you can establish optimum shoot multiplication rates by changing the medium or by changing the environmental conditions. Maybe the lighting for 12 hours, you have got 10 shootlets. If you increase the lighting for 14 hours, you are getting 120 shootlets. So like that, you have to optimize. Basic techniques is given. You can optimize it, you can change it to get the better result. Subculturing is very important. You have to keep that time limit. The time 2 weeks, kullana, you have to subculture by 2 weeks because you will get leaf yellowing and necrosis. Immediately the explant or the callus will darken. If it darkens, then it will stop growing. So it is very important. Subculturing is very important. So it needs to be optimized. See, I told you it has to be optimized for each plantlet, for each environmental condition. You have to optimize it. You have to allow that plantlet to grow in that condition and see how it is responding to it. And then it includes the size of the explant, method of cutting, orientation of planting. See, all these things also, how you place the explant in the medium is also going to affect the multiplication rate. Either you place it அப்படியே நீங்க ஸ்ட்ரெயிட்டா வைக்கிறீங்களா, இல்ல டில்ட் பண்ணி வைக்கிறீங்களா, இல்ல அப்சைட் டவுனா வைக்கிறீங்களா, இல்ல அதுக்குள்ள அமிழ்த்தி வைக்கிறீங்களா, மீடியம்குள்ள வைக்கிறீங்களா, மீடியம்க்கு மேலேயே போட்டுடுறீங்களா. ஸோ see how you orient the kind of plant. எப்படி நீங்க plant பண்றீங்க, that also influences the shooting rate. And then seasonal rhythmic patterns in proliferation occur even though subculturing is done. Sometimes, you know, they might change. So you have subcultured a particular plant like callus, it might show a change also. It can even change. It can either grow well or it might not grow well also. It might be due to some reason which you have to find out and correct it. So that is why subculturing is important. Without subculturing, directly if you keep it for the next stage, you might lose the callus. So you have to subculture it for 3 to 4 times to see whether it is giving the same kind of result. Uniformly controlled condition. So proliferation is greater in summer than in winter. See, the season also affects the proliferation. They have seen that it is greater in summer than in the winter. So in such cases, you know, subculturing is very important to show you that the second stage is stable. Second stage is stable. That is why it is called stabilizing stage. So the shootlet conditioning should be stable for 3 or 4 subculturing. Only then you can carry it forward to the next stage. Next stage is root formation. The function of this stage 3 is to root the micro cuttings. Okay, preparing them for transplanting out of the aseptic protected environment. Okay, so you have to prepare the explant or the callus to a stage which it has to undergo, it has to tolerate the outside condition. So adukku vandu stage 3 liye they start the preparation. Stage 4 ku acclimatization stage ku, stage 3 liye they start the preparation. So rooting can take place in the in vitro or ex vitro environment. They have seen you can either do rooting in vitro or ex vitro, outside the glass, outside the glass. So you can also do this condition root formation in the greenhouse or transplant area. This is maintained actually with the environmental condition, humidity, temperature, lighting எல்லாம் போட்டு மெயின்டைன் பண்ணி வச்சிருப்பாங்க கிரீன் ஹவுஸ்ல. ஸோ அந்த நம்ம காலேஜ் கார்டன்ல இருக்கிற கிரீன் ஹவுஸ் கிடையாது. That is not a greenhouse, it's the shade house. So but you have a particular greenhouse place where inner environment is totally controlled. So you can allow the rooting to take place in the greenhouse also, as well as that is called ex vitro environment. You can as well have it in the glass test tube also. That is called in vitro rooting. So in vitro rooting, you will have it in the petri plate or a test tube or a conical flask. When micro cuttings are removed to root inducing medium, again you will have the growth regulators will be different. இங்க வந்து ஆக்சிஜனோட amount வந்து ஜாஸ்தி இருக்கும். Cytokinin will be reduced. Cytokinin will also be there, but it very reduced. See, you can't totally exclude cytokinin because cytokinin is required for cell division. Okay, so cytokinin auxin ratio will be slightly different for rooting. Rooting you need increased auxin. The concentration of basal salts is cut in half. So basal medium la change வந்து இங்க வருது rooting session la வருது. Stage 3 la da basal medium la you have changes where you have the basal salts in the rooting medium has cut into half. So you can individual micro cuttings may be placed in root inducing medium. Normally rooting medium liquid liquid medium it is better because roots need place to grow. So solid medium it is difficult because the rootlet is very, very soft. It might break. When it is trying to penetrate the solid medium, it might break. So liquid medium is the best for stage 3. So you have to normally darkness, if you keep it in darkness, the rooting is better in darkness. So some depending on the plant again, if it requires some amount of light, that also you should, it has to be optimized. The lighting should be optimized. So one positive aspect of in vitro is that many plants are normally difficult to root. Cuttings can be rooted as micro cuttings. Most of the plants, which will be, it will be very difficult to bring out the roots. In that case, in vitro rooting is very, very easy to for such plants. Micro cuttings. This has been shown to be related to the number of subcultures and probably reflects the maturation stage of the micro cuttings. See, if you see that the shootlets or the micro shoots are stable, you have done 10 subcultures and 10 subcultures the micro shoots are giving out the same kind of character. It is stable. Abdina, on the particular culture, rooting is easier because it is a stable culture. So in that case, in vitro rooting can be, depends on the maturation stage of the micro cutting. So if you use a very young explant, the rooting will be different. If you use a matured explant, the rooting will be easier actually. So that is the thing about says it reflects the maturation stage of the micro cuttings. Ex vitro rooting, normally commercial or experimental micropropagation. When you are doing the experiment, they avoid in vitro rooting by treating micro cuttings with auxin, increasing them directly to soil-less greenhouse rooting medium. So hydroponics madri, when you grow plants without soil, so you are using a growth medium which is liquid. So you use it in a glass house which is free of, it is having reduced number of microorganisms. You can't say it is free of microorganisms. They'll have reduced number of microorganisms. So in that case, you can use in greenhouse rooting medium, placing it on high mist or high humidity condition for rooting. So in that case, when you are doing some experimental micropropagation for commercial purposes, like developing a forest or developing for industrial purposes, you need some pharmaceutically important compounds. That case, you can use ex vitro rooting. The procedure provides an excellent transition from the culture because you are acclimatizing the plant in stage 3 itself. Only in stage 4, we go in for acclimatizing the plant. But in this ex vitro rooting, you are giving acclimatization in stage 3 itself. So it will be better in stage 4. It will be more acclimatized in stage 4. So such plants will grow faster. Mostly this is done for horticultural trees, forest, to develop reforestation and all that. So it provides excellent transition from culture environment to the open air. It saves labor requirements for handling plants because micropropagation requires a lot of labor. So acclimatization time reduce agudhu. When you do ex vitro rooting, the plant is already half acclimatized in stage 3 itself. So hardening becomes easier. You don't have to gradually harden. It is hardened, almost it is hardened in stage 3 itself. So sharing it to the field, the time comes down. It is easier to share the plantlets to the field. So that is the advantage of ex vitro rooting, which is done in the greenhouse. So here growth regulation is, I've already told you about this. Requirements may vary and adjustment of cytokinin will be necessary. So stage 2 la auxin is low, whereas stage 3 la auxin concentration will be higher. So acclimatization is the last stage or the final stage. It is also called hardening. This case, it requires a shift from a heterotrophic. Why it is called heterotrophic? Because the plant is not allowed to make its own food. It is given food. Okay, it is a sugar requiring to free living. So it has to get autotrophic into autotrophic mode of nutrition. Till now it is heterotrophic. The plantlets are provided nutrition. Now you have to allow them to prepare their own nutrition, their own food. So that is the case condition. So the microplant should acclimatize to that condition, outdoor environment. So no more you are going to give them nutrient media. You are going to transfer them to soil. They have to absorb the media requirements from the soil. They have to make sugars using photosynthesis. Okay, so that is the term which you call acclimatize. So keeping the shoot actively growing is important because acclimatization and development of autotrophic conditions depend on new growth after the transfer from test tube environment. So you must see new growth when you transfer the explant, micro plantlet from test tube to the soil. It has to, only if a new growth comes, that means the plant is acclimatized. Otherwise, the plant remains as such, that means it is not going to give rise to a whole plant. It will die. So immediately upon transplanting, rooted microplants should be kept in very high humidity. Gradually only you have to change. Immediately you can't push them outside. You have to, that's why they say some plants have to be planted in paper cups in small quantities. Keep them inside the lab itself. After some time, you can keep it outside the lab in the windowsill. They will keep it in the near the windowsill, and then they will remove the paper cup, then plant it in a bigger flower pot, and then finally they will plant it in the soil. So that is the conditions for acclimatization. So immediately upon transplanting, root and microplants should be kept in very high humidity, gradually exposing them to outdoor conditions to prevent dehydration. So this is the picture which shows how they are acclimatized. Okay, so paper cups, and then they'll put it in a bigger plastic covers slowly, and then transplant it into a plastic bag in the greenhouse, and then slowly they will, as they grow, you have to see evidence of growth. Only then you have to go to the next phase. Okay, only when new shootlets come out, then only you can transfer them. So before that, you can't transfer them. You have to see evidence of growth. So you can enhance acclimatization. That is possible. You can enhance the acclimatization, that is gradually reduce humidity around the rooted micro cuttings. Slowly you can reduce the humidity. That's what I said. No, ex vitro rooting is the best. How it is enhancing? It is enhancing acclimatization. Humidity may be maintained by using intermittent mist. அப்பப்ப வந்து நீங்க ஸ்ப்ரே பண்ணலாம். வாட்டர் ஸ்ப்ரே பண்ணும்போது the humidity is maintained. Then plantlets can also be hardened while they are still in vitro prior to transplanting. So in vitro இருக்கும்போதே ஸ்லோவா நீங்க ஆரம்பிச்சிடலாம் acclimatization, reduce the humidity, ஸ்லைட்டா வந்து reduce பண்ணுறது humidity, ஸ்லைட்டா temperature change பண்ணுறது, so that it prepares the plantlet even before the actual acclimatization stage. So it will show enhanced acclimatization in the 4th stage. So stage 3 liye நீங்க கொஞ்சம் கொஞ்சமா the lab conditions liye konjam, if you are trying to find out, if you are trying to induce changes in humidity, temperature, lighting, slowly it will get acclimatized. So anga vandu you, if you develop new shootlets, no, then during the last stage it is easier for the plant to get acclimatized. So removing the cap of the tissue culture vessel, you can remove the cap so that some amount of contamination irundha kuda the plantlet grows. Okay, so remove the cap for 5 to 7 days prior to transplanting. Okay, cooling the bottom of the vessel to reduce the humidity, increasing the osmotic potential of the medium. Konjam vandu osmotic pressure high vaakina, that's so the plant is acclimatized to a difference in medium. So effective in hardening rooted micro cuttings because it reduces available water to the shoot. So if you increase sucrose concentration in the medium, it will reduce the water availability. So the roots become hard. The roots become hard. It will not be very soft because it has to next stage போகணும்னா the root must be slightly hardened. இல்லைன்னா ரொம்ப சாஃப்டா இருந்தா it cannot penetrate the soil. It will die. ஸோ அதுக்காக மீடியம்லயே வந்து in vitro cultureலயே they will make the root hard. So in that, how to make the root hard? It is easy. You have to just add a little more sucrose so that the osmotic pressure potential increases. The root has to, it is difficult for the root to absorb water. So when you give a stress to the root, it hardens. Hardening means it thickens. It gets the lignin deposition will take place. Secondary growth will take place. So it becomes thicker. It will survive the next phase. So you are preconditioning the microplants to survive the next stage, that is the acclimatization. So these are treatment simple tips which can enhance acclimatization. So you can also change the growth regulators. You have to do trial and error da idella. And then incubation of micro cuttings with mycorrhizal fungus. It is very, very important. So you can, in the in vitro itself, the micro cuttings can be incubated along with mycorrhizal fungus. It will enhance lateral roots. So lateral roots nariya develop agum. Prior to acclimatization stage, lateral roots will be developed. Okay, so this is very important for ornamental and coniferous crops. So I will stop here. And this is just the summary. So we will continue the summary in the next class. Okay, because you might be having other classes also. Na Kalai Selvi ivlo later join pandringa. Okay, I'll stop here, girls. We will see in the next class.